Israeli security forces say they have arrested a suspect in carrying out those twin bombings in Jerusalem last month. 2 Israelis were killed. I-24 News' Middle East correspondent Ariel Osseran joins me now with more details on this. Ariel, what do we know so far about this?
Right, Albert. So this is a joint statement by the Shin Bet, Israel's internal security agency, and the police, identifying the suspect as 26-year-old Islam Farouk. He's a Palestinian mechanical engineer working in Israel. He has no prior security background, and so he wasn't on the radar of Israeli security agencies. He divides his time between East Jerusalem and Ramallah, and the fact that he's a resident of Israel allowed him to reach the sites of the bombings. In his investigation, Farouk said that he identifies with ISIS. And let's just quickly take a step back, a quick recap of what happened on November 23rd. Farouk allegedly planted 2 separate explosive devices in 2 bus stops in Jerusalem during the early morning rush hour. As a result, 2 Israelis were killed and over 20 were injured. Now, according to the joint statement by the police and the Shin Bet, Farouk fled the scene right after the bombings by motorbike to a cave in the Judean desert. He was then arrested 6 days later in his place of work near Jerusalem. But in the cave, the police discovered 5 more explosive devices that were planned for future terror attacks, as well as a gun. And they also found at one of the bus stops that the attacks took place, they found a 3rd explosive device that did not explode. The timer was set for 30 minutes after the first one, when emergency services were operating at the scene, hoping to cause larger damage.
Not a 3rd site, actually back at one of the other sites.
Yes, but due to a technical issue, it didn't go off. So a lot of luck there. And today he was brought to before a judge, and he will be indicted in the next few days.
So now what happens from here? So he'll be indicted for the next few days. Now, how were they able, any indication as to what happened in terms of investigation, where he was the moments before and after?
Yeah, so they managed to trace his route of fleeing from the scene up to a certain point near the Judean desert, but he had at the scene used a scooter to get around from the first bus stop to the other. He left clothes along the way, so they were able to kind of pick up the pieces and connect them into one large puzzle, leading them to his cave and as well as to his place of work near Ma'ale Adumim. But I think what troubles Israeli security officials most in this case is that the Farouk had a Israeli residency, and he could move freely and get to the scene pretty easily. They also, in this investigation, managed to uncover another terror attack that was planned to be a suicide bombing at the Jerusalem bus stop. A separate 23-year-old suspect was arrested for that. And so this, not only did they thwart another attack, did the 3rd explosive device not go off, this could have been a lot more dangerous.